Some people don't enter your life. They return to it. There's no explanation, no logic, just the sudden gravity of their presence and a silence that feels like home. Carl Jung believed such meetings weren't coincidences. He called them numinous encounters, experiences so emotionally charged they awaken something ancient within us, something sacred. You don't just meet this person, you remember them, not from your past, from a deeper place, your unconscious, that vast hidden world where forgotten truths sleep and where the soul stores its most important messages. To Jung, the soulmate wasn't just a romantic fantasy, it was a psychic event, a force that stirs the soul to grow, to feel, and to remember what it came here to find. But here's the truth. No one tells you. The person you're drawn to with overwhelming intensity is not always here to bring peace. Sometimes they're here to bring wholeness, and wholeness is rarely gentle. We are magnetized by those who reflect back our missing pieces, both light and shadow. The soulmate doesn't just complete us, they confront us. They hold up a mirror to everything we've buried. That's why fate doesn't always feel beautiful. Sometimes it feels like being torn open, because love in its truest form is not about comfort. It's about transformation. And when it arrives, your life splits. Before them and after. What if love doesn't start when you meet them, but long before that? Carl Jung spoke of synchronicity, the meaningful coincidences that feel too precise to be random. The moment you think of someone and they suddenly call. The person you meet by accident who ends up altering the course of your entire life. To Jung, these are not accidents. They're signals from the unconscious, events shaped by forces we don't fully understand but deeply feel. When it comes to soulmates, synchronicity is often the first whisper, a song that plays when you're thinking of them, a dream that carries their presence, a sense that something is about to begin, even if you don't know what. It feels irrational, but unmistakably real. You don't chase this person. They arrive, like an echo that finally finds its source. And when they do, the world around you starts rearranging. Not in loud, dramatic ways, but in quiet shifts, inner certainty, emotional gravity. The kind of presence that makes time feel irrelevant. This is the universe pulling strings behind the curtain, testing whether you'll notice the clues, whether you'll trust the feeling beneath the logic. But fate never shouts. It nudges. And if you're too distracted, too wounded, too guarded, you'll miss it, because love like this doesn't scream to be seen. It waits patiently for those who can hear the thread. They don't arrive to complete you. They arrive to expose you. Carl Jung warned us, the person we are most drawn to is often the one who reflects our deepest wounds, not because they are meant to hurt us, but because the soul is desperate to heal. We imagine love as a balm, but Jung saw it as a mirror, one that doesn't flatter, one that reveals the abandoned parts of ourselves. When you meet someone who feels like destiny, pay close attention. The intensity you feel isn't just attraction, it's confrontation. Something in them activates what's unresolved in you. They speak, and suddenly your fears rise. They touch you, and old grief surfaces. They leave the room, and you fear they'll never return. That's not weakness. That's your shadow, the hidden self, surfacing for air. Jung taught that true love does not flatter the ego. It invites the soul into battle, with its trauma, its illusions, and its defenses. This is the painful beauty of soulmates. They don't just fit your life. They shatter the walls around your heart. And that shattering, it's sacred, because it makes space for the most terrifying and liberating experience of all, being seen, not for who you pretend to be, not for who you strive to become, but for who you already are underneath everything you've survived, somewhere beneath your pain, beneath the patterns you never chose, and the silence you carry like armor. A part of you is still waiting. Not for just anyone, but for the one who speaks a language you forgot you knew. The one whose presence makes the noise of the world go still. Jung believed that love at its highest form was individuation in union, the merging of two souls who do not complete each other but awaken each other. It is not the fairy tale. It is the fire. True love isn't about finding someone to fill your emptiness. It's about finding someone who shows you that you were never empty to begin with. The soulmate arrives not when you're perfect, but when you're real. When your wounds are open, your heart is tired, and your soul is ready to be seen, not just in your light, but in your darkness too. And when they arrive, it doesn't feel like possession. It feels like freedom. You'll know them by how your nervous system exhales. You'll know them by the way they look at you, as if nothing in you needs to be fixed. You'll know them by how silence between you doesn't feel empty. It feels whole. You don't need to chase what's written in your soul. You only need to remember. Call to action, CTA. When the soul finally remembers who it came here to meet, the entire universe shifts to make that meeting impossible to miss.